massive rise in the over 65s. People in their 70s just now, lots of people are not connected in their 70s at the moment. How are you going to embrace them? Ooh, deadening silence. They've gone for the train before it's too late. Linda, that is a big challenge, isn't it?
Well, I think that comes back to the point that I made earlier about my journey. I think the risk with all of the new technology and all the excitement that brings is that actually it's felt that one size fits all, and we can't move away from the fact that there are people who are not maybe using that. Elderly people, disabled people need to be helped as much as anybody else. So I think it comes back to know your passengers, and there's quite a lot of passengers, picking up on what Pete said earlier as well. Yeah. So it's not one size fits all.
But it's like you would never go into a hotel and expect the reception to be empty. You would never go into doctor's surgery and never see a receptionist. I go into railway station after railway station in rural Scotland, or even in rural Scotland, where there is nobody there. There's tumbleweed going through, and actually you feel not endangered, but you feel that anything could happen. And it's a really unfriendly experience.
Peter picked up on research that we've done. All of our research shows that people like people. Yeah. And particularly when there is disruption, you need people around to be able to tell you what to do. So I think the industry does need to listen to that.
It has to look at it again and get away from the union dispute way of looking at it. It shouldn't be a confrontational thing. We have to start to ask ourselves, have we got it right? If we don't do something about the Equality Act, then it'll go through litigation of some sort to get us somewhere near it. We're just about to embark, and I didn't ask the question, but when they talked about the Northern Powerhouse, the franchise, the franchise bid tells them to make a further 50% of their services driver-only operation. Now if you're going down the road of increasing the amount of driver-only operation, because that's what Mr. McNulty said, was you had to do that, and it's perfectly safe. I'm a railway operator. I spent 50 years operating. I know how to operate a railway. I don't know much else, but I know quite a lot about railway operating. It isn't about railway safety. It isn't about railway operating. It is about customer on the train. And if you're going down the road of increasing your northern services in the new franchise, 50% more driver-only operation, okay, there'll be a dispute with the union, but they're fighting on a different field.
It's in the government's purview to impose that anyway. It should be
the government. The government accepted McNulty's report. The pompous words of it I've written somewhere here, but what they're simply saying is that it is perfectly safe, and unless there is some imperative, you should have just the driver on his own. Which, from a safety point of view, there's nothing wrong with that at all. You have to ask yourself: is putting somebody on to look after the customer an imperative or not? And if it is, well, then you do that, and you've met Mr. McNulty, and you're doing something sensible. But if not, they're pursuing the savings thing rather than the customer thing.